The Department of Justice, they announced they're investigating whether the city of Chicago discriminates against municipal job candidates based upon race. This is after Mayor Brandon Johnson, while speaking at a church on the south side of Chicago, highlighted the number of Black officials in this administration. Well, in a letter posted on social media, Harmeet Dillon, a true MAGA idiot who's the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, overseeing the Civil Rights Division, she wrote, based on information suggesting that you have made hiring decisions solely based on race. That's kind of stupid. When a reporter questioned Johnson about the investigation, he said this.
Well, I'm not surprised. Right? I mean, this administration has, obviously has demonstrated a great deal of animus and disdain towards what is sensible about our country, and that's the diversity of our country. And I'm very proud of the fact that we have one of the most, if not the most diverse administration in the history of Chicago. What's clear is that not only does the Trump administration not respect the rule of law or what's sensible about our society, you would be hard pressed to find qualified individuals who are in his administration. As my administration reflects the country, reflects the city, his administration reflects the country club. And that is the biggest difference between what we're doing in Chicago and what is coming from the federal government. We're going to remain firm and steadfast in our commitment to ensure that the incredible diverse talent that we have within our administration that continues to lead us towards the safest, most affordable big city in America, we're not going to shy away or apologize for who we are.
So you got to understand the white wing being so upset. And this is just a clip of the conversation that the mayor had that they are all up in arms over. I mean, they are just totally upset because of what he said. But they ain't say nothing when all them white mayors were hiring white folk after white folk after white folk in a city with a whole lot of Black people. Listen, look, just listen to this here.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of Black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right? That's just how we are. And so business and economic neighborhood development, the deputy mayor is a Black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a Black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a Black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a Black man. Budget director is a Black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a Black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a Black man. Budget director is a Black woman. Senior advisor is a Black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask, how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business?
Truth be told, Randy, these white folks they just can't handle Black people being in power.
They really can't, and they really can't handle us being united. What is really interesting, after being all these years in DEI, there were studies out that showed of all the groups, identity groups that exist. So you're talking about LGBTQIA or a Black or Latino or Asian or disabled. Black people hire within our identity group less often, less frequently than any other identity group. And it's because of the fear of what's happening right now. Whenever we hire within our group, whenever we, I'm a vice president and I bring on a Black director, it is seen almost as a threat to white people in power. It is seen as if, oh my gosh, is she starting a coup? So Black people have actually strayed away from doing it. They've held back from doing it because it creates fear in in others. And so we have not typically looked out for each other as much as other groups, identity groups have. And that this has been proven study after study. And you see what's happening now when he's pointing out that I am creating an administration that is diverse as Chicago is, that is representative of our great city. They're saying, oh, there must be something wrong. Again, trying to call out reverse racism. And we know that's a lie. It is a catcall to create fear anytime we become united, anytime we try to create an equal system. It's very common what's happening right now, and it's unfortunate.
These folks, we got a phrase in Texas called, man, they chap my hide. And these white nationalists, white supremacists, Joe, all they do is, oh my God, so white people are just under siege. This is why I wrote my book, White Fear. But I predicted all of this here. And this is the Republican Party. They literally think that white people are just so downtrodden and they just have it rough.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing kind of what you see going on. We go back. We weren't too far. When I was in law school, we weren't too far off of Harold Washington's days in Chicago. And all of the doors that were opened up by that time. And you look at what's happened with other Black mayors over the year. I grew up with Tom Bradley, and then there were others, David Dinkins in 1989, et cetera. Then anytime you open the doors for other Black folks, and to Randy's point, Black folks have to be diverse and bridge built, first of all, to get elected. Black folks don't usually get elected just by being elected by other Black folks. Not even just from a number standpoint, but sometimes from a money standpoint as well. So we have to bridge build to make it anyway. And that's what we do in corporations every day. That's what we do in our jobs every day. That's what we do in schools every day, et cetera. But we are very open to other people and having coalitions, et cetera, because that's how we win. That's how we stay in the positions that we're in. And we also understand the power and the value of diversity. We don't turn around and become less diverse because we're a beneficiary of people that prioritize diversity. And so again, there's this entitlement that says, and it goes back to even when people are speaking against affirmative action, that is rooted in an entitlement that says these people shouldn't be here. These people don't belong here. And so again, we're at this place where in a diverse city, white folks think white folks and only white folks ought to be in charge. And how dare someone actually have the common sense and the good sense to understand that that's not the case. And so the Trump administration is reaching their hands into diverse cities, into politically democratic cities and things like that, mistaking what they had, winning the election by very little, for a mandate that says we should be able to change everything, even if the law hasn't followed yet, even if there's no legal precedent for this. And so I think that the pushback is very, very necessary, not only because it's wrong from a law standpoint, from a legal standpoint, but it's also wrong from a moral standpoint. And so I'm glad the mayor is doing what he's doing, but it lets you know how easy it is to speak truth that says we want to be diverse because we've got a diverse city and we need to be. And then some people get their feelings hurt.
Candace?
Listen, presidents and CEOs across the country, the handful of African Americans that are Black, they don't have vice presidents that are Black. That just doesn't happen. It only happens the only way around. And it is because of the fact that too much concentrated power makes white people feel very, very uncomfortable. And that's what we're seeing. The other point I want to make is that when we look at Title VII, there are some areas that it does not apply to, like religious institutions and political appointments. So if these are exclusively political appointments, Title VII actually does not apply to them in terms of barring someone because of race and gender and things of that nature. So I'd be very interested to see how this turns out, because these political appointments are something that Title VII is not an umbrella for. And finally, they let out numbers in terms of how many people they do have that are Black, white, Asian, And it pretty much would satisfy any white person across the country in terms of looking at how it's pretty much equally distributed. Does it have to be that way? No. But that is generally how African Americans.
No, Candace, these white These white folks ain't satisfied. They want all the jobs.
What I'm saying.
They don't want black folks having 5%.
Listen, the numbers that they have, I'm saying I'll be very interested to see what the pushback will be. That's all.
It ain't no pushback. This is nothing but a PR stunt by that idiot. That's all it is. No, I'm saying it's a PR stunt.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying that
they have no basis. But again, in their minds, white people should have all the jobs. And if you black and got a job, oh, you got it because of DEI. You got it for affirmative action. It never dawns on them that somebody white got hired because they white.
This is true.
Never. It never, ever happens.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.